Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm disappointed, but certainly not surprised. Jonathan Majors was found guilty on 2 out of the 4 charges regarding his ex-girlfriend, and he was dropped by Marvel. Well, I don't want to make this a long video, but let's just say that you know, again, I'm not surprised. Again, yeah, I'm disappointed because you know this is just more confirmation that you know of the injustice system that we have in this country. I mean, this girl was assaulted. This man was arrested for assault, but yet her charges, but the police declined to press charges against her. But he gets charged and convicted on very circumstantial evidence. And I know that it was based on a struggle that they had over his cell phone, where he supposedly broke her finger and scratched her ear. And this was supposed to be assault. Meantime, she wouldn't give this man his property back. She took possession of this man's property. And this is what the outcome was. So he gets held to account and she doesn't. But again, doesn't surprise me in the slightest. And ultimately, this lets you know, this should let you brothers know something here. And not the lesson that some of these B-dubs want to say out here, which is, we told you so, don't mess with Becky. Uh, they can forget about that argument because we look no further than Tory Lanez in that regard, okay? And there's other cases too that we can get into, but we won't get into it at this point. Well, Jonathan Major's meteoric rise in Hollywood has pretty much come to an end. Now, I don't know if this is going to completely destroy his acting career, but it certainly is going to greatly diminish his star power. And there's a very good chance it will destroy his career. And I really don't think it's fair at all that this man had to deal with this trifling woman and his career is going to be destroyed and she's going to be held to no accountability. But I mean, overall karma will hold her accountable because pretty much this woman's probably a C level actress at best. And ultimately, she'll be running around here trying to make excuse for this. But ultimately, even though the system and the overall society was more than happy, and the system was more than happy to use her to take this man down. But just like anything else, once they use their tools, they break their tools, and she'll be a nothing burger in the long run. But in the meantime, they were able to use her to take this man down. You brothers better be paying attention and taking note here, because you just got to be careful. You got no friends out here. You got no allies out here, and don't believe that the women in your own community are your allies, because many of them, by and large, are not. They have no problem with going out in the media, throwing you under the bus, throwing dirt on you, and trashing you. And you see it time and time again. So please don't even pay that. Let that go in one ear and out the other. They want to make this an aha moment, but it's not. Not at all. Unfortunately, look, some of you guys out here are going to have to start, recording people that you date, if you're in a position, hell, not even on the level of Jonathan Majors, even a brother that's in a relatively high level of success, which could be hell over six figures, right? And have even a career or business, whatever, right? You need to protect your business above anything else. Go out of the country to find a woman. Do what you have to do. Because I'll be honest with you, this is why I don't blame the passport bros. That's why I can congratulate them. Because no matter what, at least they're in a position where they can go to places where the culture isn't so anti man, but particularly anti black man. So, you know, you brothers is going to have to protect yourself. And I tell you something, that woman is a piece of trash. The thing she did to set this man up was disgusting, to say the least. It was disgusting, the thing she did with those text messages. She just, I mean, really, all for the sake of why? Because a man doesn't want to be with you? So this lets any other man know, even though there's some men out here as well as women out here celebrating what happened to Jonathan Majors. Some hateful people. But at the end of the day, I bet you those same men would say, if this Jabari woman came up across them, they would say straight up, hell no, and go the other way. So, pretty much she exposed herself as to what she is. And it's going to have long term consequences for her. Yeah, there'll be some simp out there that'll mess with her. But it's probably not going to be the man she really wants. Jonathan Major was the man she wanted, but it wasn't the man she deserved. That's the problem. And she proved that beyond a shadow of a doubt. So, ultimately, you brothers are going to have to be real careful out here. You're just going to have to be. Do everything you need to do to protect yourself. You know, you're going to have to. Hell, look at Travis Rudolph. There's another prime example. Here's a brother that was messing with, well, unfortunately, a married woman who basically called some goons on the phone. I think her brother being one of them, to come, quote unquote, shoot his shit up. So, yeah, that pretty much kills the narrative of the idea that, oh, well, this is why you don't mess with Becky. Yeah, okay, because somehow black women ain't doing the same thing, right? Black women ain't putting their hands on dudes, right? Black women aren't making up lies, right? Oh, I mean, that woman was in court lying arrogantly, okay? Had such a smart ass disposition that it was unbelievable, considering what she did. And of course, she never got charged with, conspiracy to commit murder. Oh, none of that. But ultimately, she ended up being, partly the state's witness against this man, even though he got found not guilty for killing one of those people that came to his house, one of the goons that came to his house, that she sicked on him. Okay? But again, no accountability. We see case after case after case of things like this. Like, look at even in the situation with Johnny Depp. Now, mind you, Johnny Depp did not get charged with a criminal charge, but look at the major effect it had on Johnny Depp's career. Okay, I mean, he lost gigs, then he got back, but ultimately, look what he had to go through. He had to go sue. He went to sue a UK newspaper for, basically labeling as a woman beater, and because they had a bench trial with a judge that was probably compromised, you know, he didn't win that case. But then, fortunately for him, since we have a better structured system here in this country, where you're dealing with a jury instead of just one judge who can just make a decision all by himself, there was a lot more um, opinions that could be involved when you got a jury of your peers. You definitely can you have a better chance. We'll just say that. All right. But look at the support also that Johnny Depp did have outside of the fact that he was being smeared and labeled as a woman beater. Okay, you got to understand, as a black man, you have to be even more. You have to even be more adamant and about protecting yourself. You have to be, clearly. But don't be fooled. This was not just about, yeah, there was a racial element to this, but not as much as people, not in the way that some of us in the community. I'm not even gonna say the black community. I'm gonna say the community, because, yeah, I think that's more appropriate at this point. Well, it's been more appropriate because we don't really have a community. Because you got other news rags, you know, throwing dirt on Mr. Majors over this verdict, just throwing dirt on him. And these are the black people doing this. So, yeah, the community, yeah, is a lot more apropos. I think that we're gonna have to really, as black men, we're really gonna have to stick together, okay? And there's gonna be some of us, as someone said, we're gonna have to even watch some of the ones that we deal with, even other men. But ultimately, we got to become more unified as black men in this country. We got to stop the pandering to women. We got to stop the whole thing of becoming a part of that. And I'm sorry, brothers, that's on that. You need to just cut them right from the freaking source, man. Don't deal with it, because they're just as much as your enemy as some of these women out here who are willing to play the game because the society and the system has set it up that way. That you are constantly in jeopardy when you do anything, especially if you are a successful black man. I mean, there's a lot of white men that were in that Me Too situation that did not get the treatment that a lot of black men got. Okay, I mean, let's just be real. Now, people are gonna say whatever they want to say, but we all know what the real deal is, and that's where we need to act accordingly, not based on the opinion of people outside the community, because that doesn't work that way in other community. We have to do what's to the best thing for self-preservation and protection, which is to, you're gonna have to really start vetting these women, and when they start acting up, you're gonna have to be a lot quicker. I don't care how good a blowjob she gives. I don't care how good she is, but I don't care if she rides like a Bronco rider. I don't care if she takes it. She lets you treat her like Swiss cheese. I don't care if she takes in every hole in her body. You got to get rid of her, man. And you need to protect yourself. If you feel like you're going to be put in a position, you need to make sure that you protect yourself, meaning you got to get the jump on her before she gets you. This is chess, not checkers out here. And it's sad that it has to be that way, but at the end of the day, if you don't do that, you can end up in the same position. You can end up in the same position as Jonathan Majors. It's really sad that this happened. And I'm really sad for this brother because I don't think he deserved this. But unfortunately, you know, his lapse of judgment about staying with this woman and that phone situation, I don't think that was worthy of him having to be charged and convicted for. But you know what? She's the one that did this to him. And you know what? You can't base everything on trust out here. You have to, you know, that situation with the phone, yes, he had a right to his property, but you see the way the game is played. And, you know, look, the same thing happened with Travis Rudolph. Look at the situation. What did she do? She grabbed his phone. And I don't know if this was the first time that this Jabari woman grabbed his phone, but if it wasn't, then he should have. That's a red flag and a half, guys. If you got a woman that's grabbing your phone, that is a major red flag. That's what we all got to understand. If she's grabbing your phone, You got to know that that is a major red flag from day one. She has control issues. And if she's going to go through your phone, who knows what else she'll go through? She's going to violate you like that, who knows what else she's going to do? Okay? Look what happened here in this situation. Look what happened. I don't know. Maybe he might appeal, maybe he won't. But it's probably not going to be good for him, or he may not get overturned on appeal. In all honesty, I mean, I highly doubt he's going to jail over this. But the point is, it's ruining his career. Whether he can bounce back in any way, shape, or form, I don't know. But he won't be on anywhere near the level that he was. And you know, I just hope the brother has a major support system around him, because I would hope that he doesn't get so depressed that he does something like delete himself or something like that. Because I have to be honest with you, that's very well a possibility, especially depending on how much his career meant to him or means to him. For it to be destroyed, who knows? So hopefully Megan is going to be a major support for him right now, because he's probably really going to need it. So, you know, it's really trifling out here, guys. It really is. And it's disgusting that society has turned to that. And I'm gonna tell you something: the birth rates aren't going to go any higher with stuff like this going on. It's bad enough now. A lot of these younger kids, they don't want to have kids. They don't want to get married. These boys don't want to get married. They want to have kids, and you wonder why. Why would they? They see what happened to their grandfathers and their fathers. They see what happened to their friends' fathers and their friends and other people like that. Hell, depending on what generation they're in, some of these millennials too, they've been through some stuff. So you think that people want to take a chance? There's, in all honesty, guys, let's be real. Much less getting married, it's even risky to have a relationship. Hell, it's even risky to have a sexual relationship with a woman at this point, at least in the West. Because you have the laws stacked against you. You have the system stacked against you. I mean, there's no excuse for these police of letting this woman get away with assault. There's no excuse for it. But they did. So you see right there, okay, much less the court system, the police as well. A lot of them are on board. They let this woman get away with this. The charges, if she did have any, they got dropped. They were more concerned about getting Jonathan Majors. And we know the real reason why. They'll say otherwise. They'll say, well, you know, technically the law says this and that. Yeah, well, they hide behind that a lot, because the problem is it doesn't work that way for everybody, and we all know it. We all know it. Hell, worse cases than this, people have gotten away with. But this is what they want to do. Okay? This is what they want to do. So, all I can say is, you brothers just going to have to really, really, really be careful out here. Who you date, who you deal with, and you need to be sure that you have to make sure that when you see the signs, I don't care how good she is in bed, I don't care how hot she is, it don't matter. If your life gets destroyed, what good is it? As soon as she destroys your life, she's gonna go out here and be sucking and fucking somebody else after she destroyed your life. Is it worth it then, when you're in jail not getting nothing and she's out here running the cop carousel? It's not gonna matter. Ain't gonna change nothing in her life. And there's a good chance she might turn around and destroy another man's life right after you. Some dummy that just says, well, it was because he was stupid. And then she does the same thing or something similar to him. But That's the stupidity that we got here with some of us men, man. For some reason, we think that it's not going to be us. But guess what? We're all susceptible to being with a vindictive, ugly woman. And I'm not just about talking. When I say ugly, I'm not talking about looks. I'm talking about inside. That's the ugly. That's toxic, and that can destroy you. If she's ugly just on the outside, I got news for you. Maybe you're better off. Maybe you're at this point. Looks may be less, maybe more of a threat. I mean, I don't want to say that. I mean, of course, everybody likes somebody who's attractive, but at the end of the day, their character has to be much more. You brothers are gonna have to start looking for character a lot more than you have. Okay, because the times have changed. I mean, between the Me Too era, the professional victimhood era that we got here, where I need a check, I need a check, I need a check. One person does something, they get sued, they settle. Now, here comes about 50 other accusers saying, hey, I might as well try to get a check too. You have something, believe me. There's the grift is real, man. It's real. So, smarten up, man. And again, I still don't believe that Jonathan Major deserved what he got. But one, you don't need to make a major mistake out here. All you got to do is make one slight miscalculation or one lapse of control into emotion, and there you're done. You're done. That's all it takes. I mean, you're human, but don't matter. You're not allowed to be. And hell, if you want to talk about it, society treats you like you're less than human anyway. That's how they look at you. So, unfortunately, you have to, you know, keep your veins cold and keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes and ears open. And you need to act according to the information that's presented to you, not according to how you feel. Because your feelings can get you killed. Your feelings can get your life destroyed, can get you put behind bars. But again, let's just, you know, learn from this. Let us all learn from this. And know the lesson is not don't mess with Becky, because guess what? Black women do it too. Like they say white women do it too. Well, guess what? The opposite is true as well, if that's the case. But they don't want to tell you that because they just want to dick police you and tell you what to do because they want the first right of refusal. Which guess what? You don't owe that to them. You don't owe that to any woman, no matter what race she is. But that there should tell you that you don't have any friends. That in a nutshell. You know damn well the system ain't your friend. They ain't been your friend since you got here, since you got to this country, till you, when you came out of whole of a ship. They ain't been your friend here. And they're still not your friend. Yeah, some progress has been made, but at the end of the day, there's still that monster that's still right there beneath the surface and felt ready to bite at any time. And first chance to get the bite, they will. And it's sad because you don't even have to really go out of your way to give an opportunity. There's an expression that they have in jails called "don't open doors," and in that sentiment, that means that you can't give any opportunities. You can't. You can't. You do, and you can be done. And it's sad that it's that way, but guess what? Until we get some more unity, until we start working together and supporting each other, and we got to start supporting each other no matter who or what race the woman is. We got to get off of that. Because I've said this before. Even white folks know to stay on code even with another white person who's with somebody outside of the race. They may not agree with that white person's decision, but they still will support the rights of that white person. And don't tell me they don't. You see it time and time again. So we need to understand and look at that and see how that works. But this whole idea of not supporting black people or supporting other black folks because of what race the woman is that they're dating, even black women, regardless. No, that can't be the reason. It can't. It can't be the reason because no matter who you're dating, that can just be, it can be you, no matter who you're with. The woman you're with is black and it happens to you. Man almost went to prison for murder because a black woman set him up. Okay, so come on. And another man, and then another. And then you got Tory Lanez, who actually didn't shoot Megan Stallion. The gunpowder they found on Kelsey's hands and on Tory Lanez, they never tested Megan Stallion for the gunpowder though. And then the limo driver all of a sudden somehow comes up missing conveniently during the whole thing and then comes back later. Makes me almost think like somebody threatened him to not show his face. Even though that he hasn't said that, but it's just funny to me how this man just somehow disappeared. And then later come back and saying that it was Kelsey who had the gun, or implied that Kelsey was the one that had the gun. And it's funny when Kelsey was in court, she could have said that Tory was the one that had the gun, but she never even said that. Because basically, she more or less implied she didn't want to incriminate herself. And she was given immunity. So you don't think they're going after you black men, regardless of what race the woman is? You're a fool if you believe otherwise. But with that being said, I don't know. I'm really sad for Jonathan Majors. I really am. But again, this is a cautionary tale, guys. Pay attention, learn, and protect yourself. I'm out.